The hour of 8 o'clock having risen, I call the Transportation Committee to order. 4 members present, Member Abraham, Member Knapp, Member Reeves, and myself. Consent agenda, we have no minutes to approve, and approval of bills of $1,903,182.30. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Reeves. Any questions or comments regarding the bills? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and the bills are approved. Do we have any appearance by members of the public or county employees?
Chair Rogel, we've had no requests this morning.
Eventually, someone will come see us. All right, 4A1, Departmental Matters, request approval of motor fuel tax and matching fund resolution for 3-6 PJ Keller Highway, CH8, Section 22-00046-15-RS. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Knapp. Mr. Stokes?
Sure, thank you. So this PJ Keller project is going to be our federal project for 2025, and so we have to get all the information to IDOT, get all the environmental clearances and the project development report, everything approved by IDOT ahead of time. So this kind of just does the motor fuel tax allows us to start working on some of those environmental clearances and start working on the plans, and then the matching fund resolution is for to match the federal dollars that for this project. And so so the STR dollars, the Surface Transportation Rule funds, is an 80-20, so 80% federal, and then we have to match the 20%. And so we're planning on using $1.5 million for this project. And then we also applied for Highway Safety Improvement Fund project funds, and so we did that for adding hot mix safety shoulders with rumble strips, and also to improve the guardrail. So we, Luke and other staff members worked on the application, and we received $1.7 million from the HSIP funds, and so that's a 90-10 split. So we have to so 10% of that, and so that's what the matching fund resolution is would cover is the matching for those two funding sources. So the total project, we're looking around like 3.8 million total for this project, and so the county's portion will be roughly around 650 to 750,000 total.
Does anybody have any questions? No. All right, all those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved for the motor fuel tax and matching fund resolution for 3-6 PJ Keller Highway, CH8, Section 22-00046-15-RS. Next up, we have 4A2, request approval of a resolution authorizing the agreement with the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Knapp. Mr. Stokes?
So this is an organization that started in 2009, kind of just called IPW Man, that allows public works and different entities to help each other out. And so I kind of thought, in light of the recent storms we had in the north east part of the county, that this kind of be a good organization to join. The town of Normal and the city of Bloomington are in this, and some other municipalities in the county. And so it allows to trade off services that we could provide for different municipalities, which we have done in the past anyway. But it would also allow us, if we had something happen, to call in additional resources from other counties if we need it. If we, heaven forbid, had like a fire at our shop and we needed equipment, we could use this organization to help us take care of that, or borrow their equipment as needed. So Kathy Beck, the EMA director, kind of recommended this to us as well. It's something I thought about it in years past, but I always thought we were kind of sufficient enough to kind of handle what, if there was a storm, we could take care of it. But it also allows us to go out and help other counties if needed. Hasn't had to come to that, but that'd be a service that we could provide. And so this organization would cover some of those costs as needed as if disaster struck. So the resolution allows us to sign off on the agreement, and then the next item on the agenda is the actual agreement that is from the IPW man.
Anybody have any questions? Member Reeves?
Didn't we do something similar to this with Bloomington Normal, where we could vaguely remember something?
Yeah, we did. That was more of a specific agreement, kind of talking about like shoulder work and different types of equipment. This is more kind of geared toward disaster, whether it's man-made disasters or weather-related disasters that we may come across.
Anyone else? Member Knapp?
Who coordinates the response on that? There's like Illinois Emergency Management at the state level?
It would go through them, but I think you just reach out to this IPW man organization, and then they could contact other entities that's in the organization to figure out what services and what needs they could provide.
So that they staff themselves?
No, they don't staff themselves. Well, I think they do have a staff, but they would, if let's say we had a tornado come through and we need additional help, they might reach out to Champaign County and say, hey, can you provide additional trucks over to McLean County to help with storm cleanup and that type of thing.
Thank you.
Member Abraham?
There's no like requirement for us to help though, right? We're not like
No,
bound.
no,
by
we're
this.
not. No, if we're unavailable, we don't have to help, and we just say we don't have the services or the manpower to do it, that type of thing. The cost to McLean County is $500 a year, and it's based on population. So anything over 75,000 is $500 a year. So thought it'd be kind of, I don't know necessarily a good insurance or a good benefit just to have for what the cost is.
Anyone else? No? All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved for resolution authorizing the agreement with Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network. 4A3, request approval of Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network Agreement. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Reeves, second by Member Abraham. Mr. Stokes?
So now this just covers the actual agreement with the IPW man. So it's a kind of a non-inclusive agreement that they have for all their entities.
Any questions? All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved for the approval of the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network Agreement. 4A4, request approval of a bridge construction petition for joint culvert replacement number 1 for Anchor Road District. Have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Reeves. Mr. Stokes?
So this is a joint culvert with Anchor Road District that they've they contacted us a couple years ago about looking at this, and so it's a big concrete box culvert, and it's starting to fail, and so we were kind of looking at ways to replace it, and we started doing the drainage analysis and looked at a couple putting in like twin pipes, and but it just wasn't going to work hydraulically. This is kind of a defined channel. It's got a big drainage area and a defined channel that comes in there. So we're proposing to put an aluminum box culvert into this location. We've done a few of these around the county. I think the last one we did was on the Holder Ellsworth Road, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So we put it out for bid, ordered the aluminum box, and then our crews would actually install it and put it together. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like an erector set almost. So our crew's pretty good at it. It'll probably take us maybe, I'm guessing, time we get the hole dug and everything, it'll probably take us like a week to actually put it together, and then so it's eligible for a joint culvert. It'll be a 50-50 split with the road district and the county, and some we still try to get done yet this fall.
Questions? Member Reeves?
What's the life expectancy of this aluminum culvert versus what's in there right now?
I think is it 75 years is what they expect. But it's still going to be, it's probably half the price of what the concrete box culvert would be.
Anyone else? No? All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved of a bridge construction petition for joint culvert replacement number 1 for Anchor Road District. Moving on to 4A5, request approval of a memorandum of understanding between McLean County and ASME Local District, Local 537, distributed under a separate cover. If we have any questions or any discussion, we need to go to a closed session. So does anybody want to go to a closed session? Nope, seeing none. All right. All those in favor vote aye. Sorry, motion. Motion by member Reeves, second by member Abraham. All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. And the request is approved for a memorandum of understanding between McLean County and ASME Local 537. Moving right along. 4B, items to be presented for information. I'll turn all these over to you, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. So yes, we've had a lot going on the last couple of months since the last time we met. So the first one is the Baker Bridge project just south of Lexington. So this was bridge deck replacement, and we opened this up on Thursday last week, so it's all good to go. So I do have a few pictures here. So this is kind of a picture of basically when the deck was done. You kind of can see some of these. This is the burlap or the cover that they put on the deck after it was poured to keep the water in there and keep it covered. So this is right before the guardrails getting put on, and then and so they kind of pressure wash the deck off, and then this is they're laying out the bridge rail to put that on there. And then, so they got the guardrail put up. So these are some pictures that were actually taken this morning by the engineer on the project. And so got just kind of a few of these finished product here. So it turned out really good. Got it done in time and everything. So it's nice to have it open before the 4th of July. So just kind of a few more pictures here. You can see the riprap that was put in all at the abutments. And so, yeah, that project is complete. I think we ended up putting some additional riprap in there, so we ended up probably going $30,000 to $40,000 over on the actual contract price, but it was a good project overall. The next project is Seminary Street in Downs. Well, actually, I'm going to switch that and go to the Colfax Road. Because these are the pictures. So the Colfax Road is pretty well done. This is just a kind of picture of the paving train that when they're putting in the final lift of the hot mix here a couple weeks ago. So you see the paver. This is what they call a material transfer device, where the truck puts the hot mix in this device. It remixes it, and then it lays it on, or puts that right into the paver that lays it down. And the idea behind this is they can control how much is going into the paver, and it allows it so the paver doesn't have to stop. So they can kind of watch their speed and how much material is going in there, and it actually increases their production when they do this. And we get a really nice, and it ends up being a nice smooth ride when it's all said and done using this type of machine. So so that's kind of what they're doing here. So it's kind of just a picture of the backside of the paver after the asphalt laid. This is, they're putting this down 14 foot wide. And so the main pavement plus the safety shoulders. And then here's kind of all the rollers. You can see the 4 rollers that they have there behind it. You got breakdown roller and breakdown rollers, and then the finish roller there at the last. And so it's all been paved out, so it's been striped, and we were waiting for the contractor or subcontractor to come in and do the rumble strips on the edge of the pavement for the safety shoulders, and then as well as putting in the reflectors on the center line of the pavement. So these are just kind of a few different pictures. You kind of can notice here on some of this is where we put a kind of a sealer on top on this road. We haven't really done that before. It's called a rapid penetrating emulsion, and it's kind of seals the pavement from the top down. And so it's a real light, almost like a fog seal that goes over the top of this. And so we've never done that before. It's something we wanted to try. And it's kind of, I think they're going to be starting to use this more and more on different roads. And since this is kind of a federal project with IDOT, they're paying 80% of this. And so thought it would be a good application to try this out. So I got a few.
Ask them what the benefit of that is.
Just to keep it keeps the water out of the pavement longer, and makes it shed off, and just, and I think it'll hopefully allow the pavement to last longer. So I got a few more finished pictures here. You can kind of see the project. This is up 165 looking south, kind of where we tied into 165 state route. So we stopped. You can kind of see where we stopped the RPE. So this kind of be a good test to see how it holds up, and then how the RPE holds up compared to the area that we didn't put it up here at this intersection. And then here's a picture of kind of a house. We put some additional curb and gutter, or we replaced some curb and gutter that was buried here at this location. Any questions on that project?
Member Reeves?
Not a question, just a comment. That thing is smooth as glass. It is awesome. So hats off to the guys that got that done.
Thanks. I'll pass that along. So next project is Seminary Street and Downs, and so they've have all the curb and gutter in place, and so they're getting ready to put in. They're kind of grading out, but they're putting in the hot mix. Getting ready to put in the hot mix widening in here between the curb and the existing pavement, and then once that's done, they'll come in and mill off the existing pavement and then and resurface it. They also have some of the driveways and sidewalks to take care of as well, but all the curb and gutters done. So I kind of just have a few pictures of that. So this is kind of looking towards the downtown area here, and so they did all this with a curb machine. I think the majority of it took them 3 days to do, and it was like 5,500 feet or 6,000 feet. So it took about 3 days to do it. And then they gap, you can see here, they gap some of the inlets. So then they come back a few days later, form those up by hand, and then pour those all at once. This is so you kind of can see, this is looking down the hill at Garfield Street, looking down towards 150. And they don't have any curb yet done on this side. And then so then a few days later, I was out there, and then so this is a picture of the curve on the left side of the road, and then so they also, you can kind of see where an inlet here is formed up, and to where they hand formed it. And this is a picture kind of looking up the hill from 150 with all the completed curb work. So definitely moving along once we got the underground work done, and so if they can get that hot mix in there and then start working on the rest of the sidewalks and the driveways, will be in good shape. Any questions on that project? So the next project that we have is the Lexington Leroy Road from Route 9 to 165. And so this was a cold in place recycle project that we had done. This was an old cold mix road that had quite a rutting problems and was fairly rough. And so we came in and did a cold in place recycle. And so this is kind of a milling machine that mills the pavement up and goes about 4 to 5 inches deep. And then there's a tanker here that's connected to the milling machine by a hose, and it mixes mixes the material. The tanker is a emulsion oil that goes into the milling machine, and it mixes all together, and then it gets conveyed into this paver, and then basically laid back out as a kind of a new mix. So you kind of see this is what it looks like. It fluffs up quite a bit, and then the rollers come in and compact it down. And so we ran in this particular road. We ran into some issues on the north section. It wasn't quite the same as the south sections, and so we ran into some thinner pavement, and we got into the aggregate below the existing hot mix, and so the aggregate and the emulsion didn't mix very well. So we kind of had to dig it all up, or we didn't have to dig it up, but we had to end up coming back and adding cement into these areas. So we had to do a lot of additional work. I mean, it's probably going to add about $200,000 to the contract doing the cement, but we also had to thicken the hot mix that was going on top of the pavement as well to accommodate the structural thickness that we needed for this particular road. So that's all been done. Cement's been done, and so the hot mix binder was done last week, and we actually had the road closed the whole time, which worked out well because we had the bridge there a few miles north of here was closed. And so we were actually able to open both of them up on Thursday last week. So now it's free sailing from Lexington to Leroy. So this is kind of just a couple more pictures of the CIR. You can kind of see the rollers there rolling in place. And this is just another picture from the backside. And so so like I said, the HMA binder's all done. There's a little bit of curb work we got to do now, and then they'll come back and put the final surface lift on the road once they're done with all that stuff. Any questions on that project? So the next project is in the village of McLean, and so they started this project like on May 20th, and I think they were done within like 3 weeks. So they knocked this one out pretty quick. Basically came in, milled it up, and resurfaced it, and then did some sidewalk work, a little bit of curb work, and then added some shoulders. So fairly straightforward project, but I do have some pictures here. This is kind of a picture. This is going into the Mount Hope, Funks Grove recreational area that they use at the old school there. You kind of can see some of the sidewalk ramps that we did that tie into the new road. This is kind of, that was in town. This is kind of looking out of town where we had a section of guardrail. And the only thing that they needed to do when these pictures were taken was put in the center line reflectors, and they did that last Thursday. So this project is complete. Any questions on that project? Sounds like the Village of Downs seems, and the residents there seem happy with how that project turned out. So, and then the next project, I don't have any pictures of it, is Hudson East that they're doing from basically Casey's there in Hudson to Pipeline Road, and that was a similar. It's cold in place recycle, similar to what we did on Lexington Leroy. We didn't have any issues with thin pavement there. Everything went like it was supposed to go. And so they got the binder course done last Thursday, and so they got some sidewalk work to do in there and make the ramps ADA compliant. And so they'll be putting the surface on once all that type of stuff is done. So that project's moving along. So I'd say a lot of these projects are going to be complete here within the next month or so. We do have a few more projects going on, not necessarily county-related projects. We're doing a box culvert up to Township Bridge up by Chenoa, and they're getting ready they have the floor poured. It's one single span box culvert, and they're looking to pour the walls this week on it, and Stark's doing that project. And then we've also started we did two HMA projects for Randolph Township. One was going to the elevator there in Randolph, and so they contractor came in and knocked that project out within a week. It wasn't, it was a quarter-mile long project. And then also worked on the terminal road that's going down to the Magellan fuel plant. And so that one we did a cold in place recycle on that as well. The only difference is we didn't use emulsion. We used what they call foamed asphalt in that. And so that was all completed last week. And so we're waiting for it to cure out. We're going to check the moistures on it this week, and then the contractor should be working on getting that paved out here in the next couple weeks as well. So, like I said, outside of Seminary Street, I think a lot of these projects will be completed here by the first part of August, and then we got a couple more yet to get started on yet this fall. So, busy year for the highway department. Definitely, our crews have been out on the Colfax Road. We put dirt shoulders on. We came in after the contract was done, and we're putting dirt shoulders on those outside of the safety shoulders. We're putting a dirt wedge on there. And then we did a lot of work up at around Lake Bloomington, getting ready for the resurfacing project there. I think we did like 20 crossroad culverts up there. So we had the road closed quite a bit up there, and so there was a lot of traffic with Green Gables and that type of thing. But we got through it, and I think that's going to be a good project once it's all resurfaced here this fall.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Stokes? No? All right, thank you. 5, Department Matters. Cassie Taylor, County Administrator, do you have anything?
Thank you, Chair Rogal. I do not have anything today for this committee.
Does anybody have any other business or communications? Mr. Stokes?
I do. I don't know. The invitations are probably going to go out this week or maybe early next. But the township commissioners' picnic is going to be August 2nd out at Cooksville. So if you're interested in attending, but invitations should be going out this week.
Thank you. Looks like the only other thing on the agenda is that our next meeting date will be August 6th at 8 a.m. So if there's nothing further to come before the committee, we are adjourned. Everybody have a good 4th.